looking out at the little fog grazing over the water. Absolutely perfectly calm. And the world is about to wake up again for another wonderful day. Let's get her going. Now that is a pair to draw to right there. That is definitely a pair to draw to. That's a pair of kings there for sure. TC and Forrest. And evidently it's, Forrest is still a little spooky. He's been running in the wild. He hadn't been around the house. A lot of days he's not around the house. And so, but if you see these two back here at the house this morning, early like this, you can see how foggy it is. Kind of a cool morning. If you see these guys back at the house like this, you can figure that the rut must be getting pretty close to the end because Forrest is intrigued with that empty fish bowl. And he's coming over here looking around the galvanized barrels that I have sitting here that have feed in them. It doesn't look too good. And I'm talking out here, and then look what starts happening in the woods. Deer coming up in the woods. I don't have my shoes on. I got my pants on, but I don't have my shoes on, so I'm not walking out there and getting them anything. You see it looks like a worm trail or something going out there. We have a new generator over there at the end of the house. It is not quite working yet. They worked all day yesterday. They worked 2 or 3 days on that new generator, big Generac, 24,000, I think. And they told me they had one piece they needed, and they left. And after they left, I walked down on the dock to fish about the last 30 minutes before dark. And when I did, this guy here's getting impatient. He's getting impatient. He wants in there. He's getting a little impatient. So I walked down to the dock and fished the last 30 minutes before dark. Obviously, I fished until dark. And I walked back up to the house, and it's pitch black. And I walked in, and I said, Chris, where are you? And I asked her if she wanted to go down with me to the dock, and she said, no, I'll just sit right here. And I said, I'll push you down there and push you back up the hill. No, I'm just going to sit here and watch TV. I said, okay. It was like 75 degrees. And so I caught 1 bass and 1 crappie and 1 bluegill. Caught 3. And that was it. 1 crappie, 1 bass, and 1 bluegill. They were all nice size, though. They were all good ones. And came up here, and it was pitch black. No electricity. The electricity had totally gone off. And my generator was not quite yet ready. And wouldn't that have been cool the first day you had your generator, that you needed it? You don't want to have to use a generator, but we know we're going to have to. But to been had it kick on like 30 minutes after, or 20 minutes after they left, that would have been cool. But it came back on about an hour later, and we had electricity the rest of the evening and all night. We have electricity this morning, and I cooked Chris a nice lasagna dinner last night, and some fresh strawberries, and made her a big strawberry sundae with ice cream and whipped cream, strawberries, and pecans. Oh, what a man. What a man. What a lucky girl. I've been telling her that forever. Still have not convinced her. I want you, do you think a deer can't stand still for a long period of time? All the time I've been talking here, which is about 3 minutes or so, TC has not moved. He stood right there and has not moved. This guy, this guy is wanting something in that pan. He wants some corn in addition to that South Fresh is what he's looking for. We sure enough have deer this morning. We definitely have a bunch of deer this morning. Now, I don't know, we got some wild ones here, quite a few wild ones. And Forrest is out there in the middle of that mix somewhere. Oh, he's standing back over on the other side. Of course, I fed him here on the porch, so he's already eaten quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think I see 14 deer out here. This is pretty cool. Look at that little baby. Hi there. Hi there. You are so pretty. You are so pretty. Yes, you are. And this is just really, really nice right here. We'd got down to where we wasn't having very many. 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I see 11, 12. Maybe I just see 12 deer out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I thought I'd counted 14 earlier, but there seems to be 13 deer out here is what it seems to be. So that's pretty good. I'm up really, really close to these deer, probably 10 feet away. You see Mr. Forrest over here. Good indication with Forrest and TC. TC there in the middle, Forrest standing back there behind that tree. Pretty good indication that the rut is getting closer to getting over for a couple reasons. One, these guys are up here eating instead of out chasing on a nice cool morning like this. And secondly, they seem to be buddies again. They're about to get to be buddies again, but that's a good bunch of deer right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 counting that one out there. And there might be another one back around here behind me somewhere. I'm not real sure. TC's a bully. He wants all of the corn. Apache just came by and put some more corn out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13. There's 14, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Maybe just 13. I can't count to that high. I've used up all my fingers, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it's 13. Crunching corn. Listen to them crunch that corn. Everybody seems to be doing really, really well. The Forrest actually left some corn and South Fresh both up on the in the porch, so I guess he's got about all he wanted. He's really not been acting too energetic the last few days, but he seems perfectly healthy. I think he just is running a lot at night, and he's tired. But I think the rut's getting closer to over. He's going to lay down there. See him going to lay down there? So I'm going to lay down and take me a nap, Jimmy. You lay in that little draw right there. There he is laying there. I kind of pulled his collar out and moved it up a little bit where it's a little bit easier to see. Oh, me, oh my. I do love them. I do love them. Yes, I do. I do love them. Mr. Forrest laying there in the little draw. Everybody else having them something to eat. Everybody's looking really good, really good. A lot of my little babies we turn loose are right here. A lot of these little ones, all these little ones, pretty much all of them. I think one of them's totally wild, but all the rest of them are the ones we turn loose. That's what I'm talking about. That is gorgeous right there. As I look up toward the house, I see a few deer out there in the yard. Now, I've not been seeing many deer in the yard at all. I really haven't. Well, how's that for great camera work, guys and girls? I got it zoomed up a lot. I walked down on the pier, on the dock to make a few casts. It's kind of a nice day out here, and it's pretty much calm. The wind's been blowing a little bit, but it's just slowed down. I think it's going to change over to the north. But as I look around up there in the house, I see a few deer. Our Bermuda grass is about gone. I've left the sprinkler system on because we get our water out of the lake, and the lake, of course, is fertilized all summer long. So the lake has got a real pretty green tint in it. There's a lot of fertilizer in it, and we are fertilizing that ground up there through this dry season. And in addition, we've got some clover and stuff growing up there that the deer are feeding on. You see, I've got about 4 or 5 deer up there, not many. I had, golly, I think I had 13 or 14 at the house this morning, quite a bunch. But we got a pretty good little bunch of deer in the yard there. I guess about 5 of them is all, not a bunch, but about 5 of them. But it's just such an incredibly beautiful day out here. And as I look around, I may see a deer way back up there, way back behind those deer. I'm not really sure. But they're feeding in the yard, and you'll notice they're feeding on some of that little small clover. That's good to eat. The acorns are falling, so they're really got quite a bit to eat right now. Plus, I am feeding them a lot. But it's so good to see them in the yard. So good to see them up there. And back out of this a little bit. You look up there and it's such a beautiful sight to see deer in the front yard in the middle of the day, just peacefully feeding and having a great time. Now, I'm not sure that they came around to eat or they heard my voice out here on the dock and they just decided to come around and see what was going on. And anytime they hear my voice, it seems like they get hungry. Here is something that we haven't seen in the last few days, I guess maybe a couple of weeks. Turkeys, and they're not liking me out here talking. Looks like there's about a half a dozen there. I think those are all gobblers and young jakes. Ow, 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 ow. Talk to them a little bit in turkey talk and see what they do. They're talking a little bit. I might try to get a little closer to them, but they started off immediately when I walked out here. Ow, 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 ow. You know, talking back to me. Some jakes there, a couple of beautiful young jakes, a couple of big gobblers in there. I think there's maybe 3, maybe there's just 5 there. I only see, no, there's 6. Thought I'd seen 6 earlier. Big giant gobbler. That's the big boy. He's like the king of the whole ranch, I think. Big giant gobbler. Another gobbler's pretty good size, and then 4 jakes. Now, the winter time, the hens all gang up with the hens. The gobblers all gang up with gobblers. And jakes will, they'll be with both. But they kind of like to get with the gobblers if they can. You can see they're not any of them. They're they're not super wild, but they're certainly not going to let me walk up on them either. I've got zoomed out pretty good right there to be able to see them down there as they travel down through the woods. I think I'll get me that accessory where you can walk with this thing and it stabilizes it. I saw it on TV. Sherry's supposed to be looking for it, but we've got our hands pretty full right now, so we don't get to do a lot of shopping and stuff like that. Most any shopping we do through the internet. And, but it's nice. I'm down there pretty close to them, actually. I'll get over here and see if I can't get a good look at them. They're gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful birds. Look at those beards. Look at that beard on that one way out there. I mean, he's the big daddy boss. Look how shiny, though, the jakes. How shiny and beautiful they are. And it's a cold, cloudy day right now. So we really don't have a lot of sunshine shining on them, and yet they're still just gorgeous birds. You know, our national bird was almost a turkey. We've talked about that before. Obviously would not be allowed to hunt turkeys probably if that was the case. I don't know, it might be. Might still be able to hunt them. But that's a beautiful sight right there. I'm going to throw a little feed out here and see if I can't attract a deer or two. Oh, speaking of that, I don't even have to throw the feed. All I have to do is just pan a little bit. Pan over a little bit, if I can pan correctly. And here comes deer. The turkey in the background. I'm just talking. I guess they were all down there around the lake. There's TC. Talk about the gobblers running together. How about the bucks running together? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, and Forrest makes 5 bucks running together. Now these deer will all become good buddies. Here's my pal Forrest. They will all become good buddies after the rut. I don't think it's quite over yet, but it's getting close. It's a little bitty guy right there. It's beautiful. You got a little cut or something on your jaw, buddy. Your jaw doesn't look all that good. Like maybe you got hurt a little bit. Did you get hurt a little bit? My goodness, you guys are pretty. My goodness, I suppose y'all want something to eat. Is that what y'all are wanting, something to eat? Huh? And there's something. Isn't this something? Got them all right up here, really, really close. You can take a look at aught 3 there, where that horn got ripped off. I mean, I'm zoomed in really, really tight. Hold still. And you really can't tell hardly anything at all. I have my doubts if he will ever grow an antler on that side anymore, but he might. But what we have here is 5 beautiful bucks. 5 beautiful bucks here. And those 3 little guys now will be big ones. They've got the right genetics. They're awfully small looking, but they've got good genetics in them, and they will be big deer. Forrest, of course, is probably obviously going to be the biggest. He's the biggest body-wise, no doubt about that. But he's been pampered. And that's his daddy right there, TC. And he is an awfully good-looking deer as well. He's really big. He has been chasing. He's been all over the ranch. We've seen him just as far away as you can get and still stay in the high fence. But that's pretty cool right there. There's 5 bucks. Just being my buddies.